Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome to our English News Edition, coming to you from Canal Algérie. To the headlines. The President of the Republic, Abdelmajid Tebboune, receives a phone call from his Turkish counterpart, Recep Tayyip Erdogan, to congratulate him for the success of the Palestinian Reconciliation Conference. The President of the Republic receives the credentials of five new ambassadors to Algeria. Great hopes are pinned on the upcoming Arab Summit of Algiers, a case in point in our news edition, Kuwait. And further demonstrations in several Moroccan cities to denounce misery and social injustice, marking the everyday life of citizens. Good evening, those were today's headlines. First in our news, the President of the Republic, Abdelmajid Tebboune, received a phone call from the Turkish President, Recep Tayyip Erdogan. The two presidents discussed bilateral relations and means and ways to strengthen them. On this occasion, the Turkish President congratulated the President of the Republic for the success of Algeria and holding the Unification Conference to achieve Palestinian national unity, expressing his high appreciation for the efforts of the President of the Republic, Abdelmajid Tebboune, to achieve this noble goal, wishing him another success in the unification of Arab ranks during the summit of the Arab League that will be held in Algeria at the start of the upcoming November. The President of the Republic, Abdelmajid Tebboune, received at the Presidency of the Republic the credentials of the Swiss ambassador to Algeria, Pierre-Yves Fuchs.
Sayed Pierre-Yves Fuchs. Monsieur le Président, j'ai l'honneur de vous présenter les lettres de créance par lesquelles le Conseil fédéral de la Confédération suisse
Following the audience, the new Swiss ambassador to Algeria had this to say.
J'ai eu l'honneur de le dire à l'instant à Son Excellence le Président de la République. L'ambassade de Suisse à Alger.
To His Excellency the President of the Republic and the Swiss Embassy to Algiers and myself, we are personally committed to develop, diversify, intensify our excellent bilateral relations that go back 2 years. It will also be a question of being at the height potential in political, economic, cultural fields without omitting issues of security environment. Currently important processes and projects are underway. For example, the humanitarian field between counterparts from several ministries. With His Excellency President Tebboune, I have been able to have on this subject at the moment a substantial exchange, and I would also say that is a good omen. I'm also thinking of our bilateral relationship which concerns regional and global issues. During 2023-2024, Switzerland for the first time will sit on the United Nations Security Council as non-permanent member, and Algeria will come back on 2024-2025. The role of our two countries is rolling that we are already playing on the international scene. I think that coming years will certainly see the intensification of our dialogue. I hope for our cooperation for the service of our common interests. I'm certain that the coming years will allow us to achieve big achievements.
The President of the Republic also received the credentials of the new Libyan ambassador, Salah Mohammed Hamma Mohammed Bakta.
عدد سفير دولة ليبيا السيد صالح همة محمد بكدة.
تشرف بتسليمكم أوراق الاعتماد التي عينني بموجبها فخامة رئيس مجلس الرئاسي.
Let's listen to the new ambassador of Libya to Algeria.
رحيم اليوم طبعا قدمنا الأوراق الاعتماد
Today we presented the credentials of the ambassador of Libya, the plenipotentiary of the People's Democratic Republic of Algeria, to the President of the Republic, Abdelmajid Tebboune. Then we met His Excellency for a long time. This indicates the depth of the historical relations between Libya and Algeria and the economic situation between the two countries. We have discussed many issues of common interest, and the President Tebboune showed his great cooperation. We wish Algeria security, safety, stability, and prosperity. Thanks to everyone who contributed with us in this meeting. We thank the President of the Republic.
The President of the Republic equally received the credentials of the new ambassador of Norway to Algeria, Therese Loken Gizel.
عادت سفيرة مملكة النرويج السيدة تيغيز لوكن غزيال.
J'ai l'honneur de vous remettre les lettres de créance par lesquelles Sa Majesté le roi Harald V
Let's have a listen to the new Norwegian ambassador to Algeria.
l'honneur de remettre les lettres de créance par lesquelles le roi Harald, Sa Majesté Harald.
I had the great honor of presenting the credentials by which King Harold, His Majesty, accredits me to the People's Democratic Republic of Algeria. As the Norwegian ambassador to this beautiful country, I am very happy to be here in Algeria. We have excellent bilateral relations at the heart of our action. Our international commitment remains the UN Charter and the principles of the United Nations. I am very proud to be the first Norwegian woman appointed ambassador of Norway to Algeria. I had a very fruitful discussion with His Excellency President Tebboune. We have talked about the need for energy resources in Europe. Norway and Algeria are producers of hydrocarbons. There are also a lot of things to do precisely for renewable energies. I am very happy to be the representative of my government in Algeria. I expect a lot during my stay.
Nommée ambassadeur de la Norvège en Algérie.
The President of the Republic received as well the credentials of the new Sudanese ambassador to Algeria, Nadia Mohamed Khair Othman.
سفيرة جمهورية السودان السيدة نادية محمد خيرة عثمان.
سيد الرئيس تشرفت بتسليم فوق الرابع الاجتماعي سفيرا فوق العاده مفوضا لجمهورية السودان.
Following the audience, the new Sudanese ambassador had this to say.
تشرفت اليوم بتقديم أوراق اعتمادي سفيراً فوق العادة ومفوضاً لجمهورية
I had the honor today to present my credentials as an extraordinary and plenipotentiary ambassador of the Republic of Sudan to His Excellency President of the Democratic Republic Abdelmajid Tebboune, in order to serve the interests of the two brotherly countries, especially in light of the resources that Sudan and Algeria are bound. This opens areas of joint cooperation for the interest of the two countries. The meeting dealt with preparations of the Arab Summit, which Algeria will host next November. I offer my sincere congratulations to the people and government on the anniversary of the glorious revolution. As I convey to His Excellency the President of Sudan, hailed the great role that Algeria in supporting the Palestinian factions. I assure to His Excellency that I will do my utmost to upgrade relations of the two countries to the highest level. The current situation requires a great deal of cooperation. I'm fully confident that every year I'm encouraged by state institutions and officials in Algeria to accomplish my mission as ambassador.
And finally, the President of the Republic received the credentials of the new Omani ambassador to Algeria, Saif bin Nasser bin Rashid al-Bada'i.
سفير سلطنة عمان السيد سيف بن ناصر بن راشد البداعي.
Let's listen to the new Omani ambassador to Algeria.
تشرفت اليوم بتقديم أوراق اعتمادي لسيادة رئيس الجمهورية الجزائري.
Today I have the honor to present my credentials to the President of the Republic of Algeria. I convey to him greetings and wishes of His Majesty Sultan Haytham bin Tariq. President Tebboune praised the bilateral relations linking the two countries. I assured him that I will work and do my best to develop these relations in all fields to serve the interests of the two brother countries.
The audiences took place in the presence of the Minister of Foreign Affairs and the National Community Abroad, Umtan Al-Amamra, and the Principal Private Secretary of the Presidency, Abdelaziz Khalaf. Prime Minister Ahmed bin Abdurrahman chaired a government's meeting that discussed the following topics. In the justice sector, the Minister of Justice submitted a preliminary bill of an organic law contained in the Basic Judiciary Law. The draft text, which repeals and replaces the Organic Law number 411 of September 6, 2004, comes as part of adopting the Organic Law of the Judiciary to the content and spirit of the constitutional revision of the 1st of November 2020, which enshrined the commitment of the President of the Republic to value the judges' corps, upgrade their basic law, and preserve their independence within the framework of the comprehensive reform of the justice sector. In tourism, the Minister of the sector submitted a draft executive decree amending the decree declaring areas of tourism expansion. Concerning the celebrations commemorating the outbreak of the National Liberation War, the government listened to a presentation made by the Minister of War Veterans on the program of commemorating this event. In this regard, several activities are planned for the benefit of war veterans and those of right holders, and organizing historical performances such as the Great Saga of Ala Fashhadu and the kickoff of a movie about the leader of the 6th Military Region, Colonel Sihwas. Less than 2 weeks before the Arab Summit, all eyes are riveted on Algiers. The expectations and hopes are high, notably in Kuwait, where our special envoy gathered these vivid witnesses. More details in this report taken up by Rania Al-Bahri.
A particular importance is given to the next Arab Summit to be held in Algiers. In Kuwait, everyone is aware of the importance of the meeting of Arab leaders on November 1st and 2nd, an event which should make it possible to take crucial decisions for the promotion of joint Arab actions. We are awaiting the meeting of Arab leaders in Algeria, a country very dear to our hearts. The Arab Summit takes place this year when Algeria is celebrating the 60th anniversary of its independence. It is also an opportunity to recall Algeria's position. Algeria has always supported the Arab countries, in particular the Palestinian cause. The Arabs are all brothers. We must unite and work together for the unification of ranks. In the old Lambarkia market in Kuwait City, the Kuwaiti people are unanimous to defend Palestinian cause and believe that Algiers will be a capital that unifies the position of the Arab states with regard to Palestine. The Palestinian cause remains the major concern of all Arabs. We hope that the meeting of Arab leaders at the Algiers summit will bring decisions in favor of Palestine. The Arab countries have plenty of agricultural lands, skilled workers. If they manage to get together, they will be able to ensure self-sufficiency. The next Arab summit is intended to be unifying, a meeting eagerly awaited by all Arab peoples. Everything will be done to guarantee common and effective Arab action.
On the occasion of the celebrations of the 100-year anniversary of the building of the Great Mosque of Paris, the French President Emmanuel Macron, who was welcomed by the mosque's rector, Shamsuddin Hafiz, took part in its commemoration ceremony. This event was a tribute to the 100,000 Muslims who defended France during World War I. The French President Emmanuel Macron, accompanied by the mosque's rector, laid a wreath of flowers in their memory.
Je tiens également à rappeler que
3 years before and during World War I, the French government at the time requested from the scholar Ben Ghabrit, who is of Algerian origins, to become the mosque's imam. His mission was to teach Maghrebians of the pilgrimage which takes place at the holy sites. The organization known as the Society of Endowments and Holy Sites of Islam was founded by Ben Ghabrit to build religious reconciliation.
The fate of the UN mission for the organization of a referendum in Western Sahara will be decided by the end of the month. On a visit to Algiers, Pierre Galland pleaded for the extension of the MINURSO's mandate to the protection of human rights. The president of the European Coordination for Support and Solidarity with the Sahrawi people stressed the importance of providing MINURSO with this mechanism. He also announced the support and involvement of certain Western powers in the Moroccan colonization of Western Sahara. Demonstrations were organized in front of the Moroccan embassy in South Africa to denounce the repressive policy of the Moroccan occupation forces against the Sahrawi people. These demonstrations coincide with the visit of the Sahrawi president Brahim Ghali to South Africa following the invitation of his South African counterpart Cyril Ramaphosa. The demonstrators called on the international community to react in favor of holding a referendum for self-determination in Western Sahara. Several Moroccan cities were the scene of huge demonstrations denouncing misery and social injustice in the country. Another serious blow against the Makhzen regime. Manal Ammari has more.
Moroccans keep on protesting and demonstrating regularly to denounce the continuous deterioration of their living conditions. In these images, the inhabitants of Marrakesh are denouncing the government's carelessness, the policies which destroy the gains of the working classes, and the right to live with dignity.
جينا اليوم ثاني باش نعاودوا نعبروا على الموقف ديالنا ضد.
We are here to express our opinion against the rising prices and oppression due to which average citizens aren't able to provide for their families. We demand the review of the employment code to guarantee workers' rights, workers that now have to struggle to buy basic consumer products and even transportation tickets. These protests are held to denounce poverty, the price hike and the low purchasing power, while hydrocarbon companies make high profits. This is an opportunity for us to condemn the government for not taking real social actions to face poverty and the price rise, even though it announced some useless programs and measures. Yet it will not face the current social and economic crisis, corruption, bribery, as well as violations of rights and freedoms that citizens are suffering from on a daily basis. And we are calling on them to find real solutions to these issues. Demanding better living conditions, the inhabitants of Qanitara took to the streets to denounce the injustice that they have been victims to for years.
والتعليم حق الجميع والتعليم حق الجميع وين هو تعليمنا وين هو تعليمنا المغرب كامل في احتجاجات اليوم اللهم انا عظام كارثه وغدا تقولوا ما كاين حد ما كيحضر حد.
There are protests all across Morocco. All of you will overlook us and say that no one is protesting. You're letting Akhnouch collect money while people are struggling to buy food. This is our country's reality. Faced with a serious food crisis due to a cereal harvest deemed catastrophic, in addition to supply difficulties in Rabat as well as Meknes, popular discontent will not stop them anytime soon. A grumbling exacerbated by the measures as well as the disastrous social repercussions taken by Akhnouch's government.
الحكومة كتفرج في المعاناة ديال الشعب
The government is watching the people struggle, and the High Commission for Planning talked about over 3 million Moroccans who are slipping into poverty, which is a dangerous situation that should be handled by the government by improving the citizens' living conditions. Sadly, our protests are overlooked. 24 million Moroccans are suffering from poverty. The Moroccan government continues to talk about social issues, but no decisions were enforced to help citizens, as is showcased by the continuous increase in fuel prices. The Makhzen regime is facing an unprecedented economic and social crisis. It is using all the means at its disposition to repress and muzzle the people's voices. Several Moroccan political parties and human rights activists are protesting against these violations of individual freedoms in Morocco, calling to close the ranks to put an end to injustices.
Within the dynamics of fighting terrorism and organized crime, units and detachments of the National People's Army carried out during the period of the 12th of September to the 18th of September several successful operations which denote the high professionalism, vigilance and permanent availability of our armed forces. Sabrin Tafarginit has more.
Within the framework of fighting terrorism, a detachment of the National People's Army arrested 2 terrorists during a search operation in Shabata Ririni Tipaza and retrieved 2 submachine guns type Kalashnikov and 6 ammunition stores, 2 field binoculars and destroyed 1 handmade bomb and a quantity of explosive substances. In the same context, another detachment discovered and destroyed 2 bunkers of terrorist groups, 31 kilograms of TNT explosives in a combined operation in Midiya, while an element supporting terrorist groups was arrested in Janet. Concerning the fight against organized crime and in continuity of the intense efforts aimed at countering the scourge of narco-trafficking in our country, detachments of the National People's Army have arrested in coordination with various security services during many operations carried out across military regions 46 drug traffickers and seized 1 submachine gun type FMPK, another 1 type Kalashnikov and a quantity of ammunition, and thwarted attempts to smuggle huge quantities of drugs across the borders with Morocco, amounting to 5 quintals and 69 kilograms of treated cannabis, alongside 221,036 psychotropic tablets. The detachments of the National People's Army also intercepted in the provinces of Tamanrasset, Borj Mukhtar, and Gizam, Janet, Tinduf and Ain Saleh 317 individuals and seized 33 vehicles, 198 generators, 176 jackhammers, 8.3 tons of raw gold and stone mixture alongside quantities of explosives, detonating tools and equipment used in illegal gold mining operations. 23 other individuals were apprehended and 19 hunting rifles, important quantities of foodstuff destined for smuggling and speculation amounting to 48 tons, 46 tons of tobacco and 10,453 units of various drinks were seized in separate operations carried out across the national territory. For their part, border guards, in coordination with the National Gendarmerie Services, thwarted attempts to smuggle large quantities of fuel amounting to 49,060 litres in Borj Mukhtar, Adrar, Tibissa, Souq Haras, Tarif, Wirgla provinces. Finally, the Coast Guards averted at the level of our national coast attempts of illegal immigration and rescued 226 individuals on board of handmade boats, while 108 illegal immigrants from different nationalities were arrested through the national territory.
And with that, we wrap up our news bulletin. Thank you for watching. Good night.